Hello everyone, my name is Justin Misa and I'm from Group 2. Today, I'm the first reporter in our group and my topic all about is the overview of the different speech situations. This is what I've searched and gathered online and this is what I've found out on internet. Planning speeches. Overview of the different speech situations. Types of speech context. Speech context is the situations that brings people to a conversation or a speaking event. This involves the particular time and place of the communications. There are four purposes of the speech. We have interpersonal, public, and mass communication. First, we have interpersonal. Interpersonal communications takes place within an individual. This primarily consists of thinking, that is processing and interpreting ideas. For example, a girl contemplating about her future plan. Another example, a student thinking about how she can answer a mathematical problem. Those examples are processing and interpreting ideas of how she planned her future and how she able to answer a mathematical problem. Next, we have interpersonal. Interpersonal communications takes place between and among individuals. The participants constantly respond to one another's ideas through feedback. And this is also consists of both verbal and non-verbal. For example, you are participating to an organizational meeting which aims to address the concerns of your fellow students. Another example is you are having a discussion with your group mates on how to finish the assigned task. Those examples are you are able to connect with the other persons that you are talking with, which you are constantly responding to one another's ideas through feedback. There are two kinds of interpersonal communications. The first one is dyadic communication. Dyadic communication is an exchange between two persons. The advantages of dyadic communication is more intimate, direct, and vocal, necessary to give response. And the disadvantage of dyadic communication is prone to subjectivity and unable to end a conversation immediately. Second, we have the small group communications. Small group communications takes place among 3 to 12 individuals, and the advantages are more sources of ideas and suggestions, good for doing a task, easy to arrive at consensus, and disadvantages are dominations and unreconciled individual differences. There also an effect of interpersonal communications. The first one is learning. Learning allows people to gather information about themselves, other people, past, present, or predictive events, belief, and attitudes. The second one is helping. Helping provides people advice, emotional support, or assistance that can help them personally or others with a problem. The third one is influencing. Influencing allows people to persuade another person to provide help, share an activity, change an attitude, counsel a relationship, give permission, or fulfill an obligation. The fourth one is relating. Relating allows people to experience closeness or distance, agreement or disagreement, equality or inequality with others. The last one is playing. Playing allows people to experience humor, camaraderie, celebration, or pastime, or coordinate fun activities. We have the public. Public communications takes place when an individual addresses a large audience. The listeners do not generally provide feedbacks and tends to be more formal. For example, Mark Zuckerberg's commencement address of Harvard University. Another example is oath-taking ceremony of a newly elected official. Another example is State of the Nation address by our President Duterte. No, the other example is uh, you deliver a graduation speech for your batch. And the last but not least, the mass communication. The mass communications refers to the communications that takes place through television, radio, newspaper, magazines, books, internet, and other types of media. Example of mass communication is you are a student journalist articulating your stand on current issues through the school's newspaper. So this is all about my topic, everyone, and I hope you learn from it and you able to understand what I'm trying to discuss. Once again, thank you.
So, good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. By the way, I'm Catherine Galindo, the second reporter of Group 2 Planning Speeches. So, the topic that was assigned to me is the definition, role, responsibilities, and importance of being an anchor. Toastmasters, moderator, reactor, presider, and lecturer. So, mostly they are the same. So I only choose to discuss the Toastmaster and the lecturer. So what is a Toastmaster and a lecturer? So Toastmaster is the one who presides and introduces the speaker. Toastmaster is also the one who maintains the energy level of the audience. While the lecturer is a person who gives speeches and presentation often as part of their profession. So example of the lecturer is the junior level college professor who does not have tenure. So there are different standards of lecturers rank. The lecturer and the senior lecturer or a master lecturer. So lecturer is a faculty member appointed primarily to provide instructions or stated term of full-time or part-time service as specified in the appointment letter. So example of lecturer is the part-time instructor, and the senior lecturer or master lecturer is generally meets the requirements for appointment as a lecturer and has the demonstrated excellence in teaching for at least 5 or 10 years respectively. So examples of the senior lecturer is the chairman or mga masteral. Then the rule. So what is the role of a Toastmaster and a lecturer? So the role of a Toastmaster is to act as the meeting general host. So introducing participants and making everything runs in time to encourage the participants. So Toastmaster is the one who introduce the participants. Examples in the event, there is a singing contest. So the Toastmaster is the one who is the host. So she's the one who introduced the participants, the judges, the speaker. Then the role of a lecturer is lecture planning, preparation, and research, contact, and teaching time with students, checking and assessing students' work. So lecturer is the one who prepared the lesson. The lesson, just like the instructor. So they prepare the presentation to present their topic to their students. So they assist also the students' works. Then responsibilities of a Toastmaster and a lecturer. So responsibilities of a Toastmaster is RDI. To give an introduction on which sets the time for the meeting. To explain the instructor of typical meeting for the benefit of guests and new members. Also, to give short introduction for each of the main speaker and link between the various meeting segments. So, responsibility sa Toastmaster is to introduce the speaker. So, being a Toastmaster, you can encourage to create an introduction in your own personal style, but be sure to include an overview of the basic meeting structure, prepared speeches, followed by evaluation and their table topics. And also a short discussion of the rule of applause at Toastmasters meeting to raise energy level and provide support and encouragement for the participants. And an explanation of the use of the feedback slips following each prepared speech, including suggested CRC structure, recommended, commend. So responsibilities of a lecturer: preparing and delivering lectures to tutorial, workshops, and seminars, developing curricula, course material that can be used across platforms, collaborating with the other academics and lecturers to improve teaching methods and expand knowledge base, setting and grading assignments, tests, and exams, conducting research and writing papers, proposal, journal articles, and books, attending and participating in meetings, conferences, and other events in and outside the institution, and also participating in training opportunities and initiatives at the institution, providing support to students and other colleagues. And the last one is studying current by reading widely and producing published work in the field. So the importance of being a Toastmaster and a lecturer. So the importance of being a Toastmaster is it will give you the skills and confidence you need to effectively express yourself in any situation. It also improve your interpersonal communication and be more persuasive and confident when giving speeches. Also, Toastmaster conduct the entire program, distributing the awards. Program participants should be introduced in a way that excites the audience and motivate them to listen. So, importance of being a lecturer is that you can motivate the participant and the audience. Being a lecturer, it can be an incredibly rewarding job. You can talk about subject that you genuinely enjoy. You get to see young people love their subject, increase their academic performance, and also you can guide the participants in their choice of their future career. So that's all, and thank you.
Ethical manners and ICT that aids in execution of each speech situation. Ethics is a process of determining what is good and bad, right or wrong, in a moral dilemma. It means that ethics is a guide to our behavior to another person. Ethical speakers consider how to be honest and avoid plagiarism by taking notes during research process. Ethical public speaking, ethical speaking. In this case, ethical communication is present wherein it's a fundamental to responsible thinking, decision making, and development of relationship to your audience. And remember that if you speak, be honest and avoid plagiarism at all times. Aspects in ethical communication. Identify your sources, which in this case, you must take note the sources as you researches. your speech topic. Second, avoid hate speed. Beware on sensitive materials and be able to navigate choices to avoid offending your audience.
My name is Jen Adlawan from BIT 3G. So, for the continuation of the topics, the topics that I'm going to discuss are provide ethical feedback, ethical behavior in public speaking, roles to follow when speaking, and roles to follow when listening. So, let's start with ethical feedback. So, what is ethical feedback? Ethical feedback is a descriptive and explanatory response to the speaker. So, if you respond to the speaker, then demonstrate that you have learned, that you have listened and considered the content and delivery of the messages. And if you respond, you should remember the respectful way. So, respect the position of the speaker while being honest about your attitude, values, and beliefs, because it can make the speaker boost her or his confidence and courage in good speaking behavior. So, kung mo response ta or mohatag sa thoughts sa speaker, sa atong nabati nga sa speaker, it should be in a respectful way. Para pod ato sila encourage para mo boost ilang confidence. So, next topic is ethical behavior in public speaking. So, to engage in ethical behavior in public speaking, you need to. So, the first one is maintain your credibility and reputation. So, no unnecessary movements. Like, let's move ka ng kung unsa nga to position, like good posture. So, more minana lang jud ang ato ang i-maintain. So, wala na yung mga bisan unsang lihok or mga unnecessary movements kay makakuan pod ni siya sa makadistract pod ni siya sa ato ang audience. So, number 2, present a fair and accurate argument of the thesis. So, sa atong presentation, dapat atong ihatag nila ang pantay o clear or sakto nga argument para sa nga argument sa ato ang thesis. So, number 3, provide honest facts with integrity and without deception or distortion. So, maghatag ta nila og sakto nga kamatuoran. So, dili ka nang dili daya or dili walay pagduha-duha or walay pasikot-sikot na kanang facts ang atong ihatag sa ato ang audience. So, the last one is abide by shared or common moral values and beliefs. So, mo stay ta sa common or shared values sa tanan. So, next topic is roles to follow when speaking. So, mga roles nga atong So, the first roles to follow when speaking is ethical goal. So, it's like be responsible. Like we as a speaker are the responsible of what speech that we are going to share to the audience or to our audience. So, a speech that they can learn something from it. So, kana pong speech na makahatag ta or ang atong audience or ang atong listener kay maka-learn nato. So, the next one is full preparation. So, it's like go bat. Dili ta musongkong, dili ta or wala tay daghan bala. So, same sad sa pagbuhat og speech or we as a speaker should be fully prepared in doing a speech. So, wala nay karakara nga na mahitabo sa ato ang inig speech nato. So, the next one is honesty. Ika nga, honesty is the best policy. So, we should give them the honest facts of our speech. So, how can they trust us if dili sakto nga kamatuoran ang atong ihatag nila? So, it should be honest facts. Non-abusive language. So, we should avoid using abusive language. So, dapat we should use non-abusive language. Though it's like attacking the audience verbally, tomorrow siya debate style, but though it's verbally, but di kaya nato ang name calling or bullying. So, the last topic is roles to follow when listening. So, the first one is courtesy. So, we must show respect to the speaker by hilom. So, while magstorya ang speaker, maghilom lang ta na maminaw nila. Silent listening. So, the next one is attention. So, we must pay attention to the speaker and be attentive. So, kung naay mga question ang speaker, mutubag ta nila kay maana man mahibawaan ko na minaw ta kung makatubag ta sa ilahang pangutana. Next one is open-mindedness. It's like all about willingness. So let's just try to listen and consider what the speaker will going to say. So willingness lang kung willing ka mamina kung unsa ang gusto nilang i-share diri nato. So set responsible speech goals. So mag-set taog ka ng nindot na speech. So the next one is promote diversity, like acknowledge the differences. Let the people know, learn by doing or by doing things, or just provide mentors. So we have differences man, so ato ning i-acknowledge though lahi-lahi ta, but we should acknowledge it. So the next one is use inclusive language. Instead of using he or she, use they to refer a theoretical person. This is a language that is respectful and promotes the acceptance and value of the people. So next is avoid hate speech. Yeah, likaya nato ang hate speech kay makababa ni siya og self-esteem ug makataas sa anxiety nga ma-feel sa speaker. So ang speaker noon mahadlok na noon musulti ato bang sa mga tao kay tungod sa mga hate speech nga iyang nadawat. Next is raise social awareness. So like understand what it means to listen or just pay attention to the speaker. And the next one is employ respectful free speech. So as a listener, you have the right to voice out your opinions and value. So yeah, though nakaka-right nga mo voice out sa imong opinions, but of course don't forget to express it in a respectful way. So kay naman tay freedom of speech, we should use it in a good way. So that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I'm Altia Narte Gorgunyo from Group 2. So my topic is about topic, type, and purpose of speech planning. So there are 3 types of speech according to purpose. First is informative or expository speech. The main purpose of the speech is to inform, provides knowledge, especially interesting information. So there are types of informative speech. First is speech about objects. So when a speaker talk about things that can induce the senses. Second is speech about events. So concentrates on important incidents, personal or historical, and seek to enlighten the listeners about the said events. So third is speech about process. Process is a series of action or steps taken in order to achieve a desired outcome. So the fourth is speech about concept. So the second type of speech according to purpose is persuasive speech. So persuasive speech is the mean of this speech is to conceive the audience to change their views or behavior. So example of persuasive speech. So imagine a situation having to plan to buy a product, but because of a very convincing talk, you are able to buy at that particular product. That's the power of persuasion. So there are 2 categories of persuasive speech. First is according to the topic. So it includes factual persuasive speech, value persuasive speech, policy for persuasive speech. So, factual, persuasive speech, the speech determines whether or not a particular issue is true and is backed by concrete evidence. So, next is value persuasive speech. Is the center on arguing something which is right, moral, or ethical. So, next is policy persuasive speech. Is to convince an audience. So, next is the third types of speech according to purpose is the entertainment speech. So a speech to entertain is still informs or persuades, but said speech is cloaked with humor, because if it is speaking to entertain, then it is merely a comedy. So entertainment is not only for comedy. So people watch horror movies because they love them, amuse it. Many people watch horror. So speech to entertain is different from speaking to entertain. So there are tips of entertainment speech. So first is don't forget your thesis or your main idea. So be sure audience still learn from you. Second is paint words through words or be creative. So third, get organized. So fourth is manage humor. So that's all. Thank you.
So, good day, sir. I am Hanimi P. Morelio. So, this day, the topic that I'm going to discuss is about developing strong and clear thesis statement. So, a strong thesis statement contains the following qualities. So, specificity, precision, ability to be argued, ability to be demonstrated, forcefulness, and confidence. So, specificity is a thesis statement must concentrate on a specific area of a general topic. As you may recall, the creation of a thesis statement begins when you choose a broad subject and then narrow down its parts until you pinpoint a specific aspects of the topic. So, for example, healthcare is a broad topic. So, but a proper thesis statement would focus on a specific area of the topic, such as options for individuals without healthcare coverage. So next, precision. So precision, a strong thesis statement must be precise enough to allow for a coherent argument and to remain focused on the topic. So precision. So if the specific topic is option for individuals without healthcare coverage, then your precise thesis statement must make an exact claim about it. So such as that limited option exists for those who are uninsured by their employers. And you must further pinpoint what you are going to discuss regarding this limited effects, such as home day and what the cause is. Another is ability to be demonstrated. So for any claim you make in your thesis, you must be able to provide reasons and examples for your opinion. So you can rely on personal observations in order to do this, or you can consult outside source to demonstrate that what you assert is valid. A worthy argument is backed by examples and details. So that is ability to be demonstrated. So next is forcefulness. A thesis statement that is forceful shows readers that you are in fact, making an argument. So the tone is assertive and takes a stance that others might oppose. So next is confidence. In addition to using force in your thesis statements, you must also use confidence in your claim. Phrases such as I feel or I believe actually weaken the reader's sense of your confidence, because these phrases imply that you are the only person who feels the way you do. So, in other words, your stance has insufficient backing. Taking an authoritative stance on the matter persuades your readers to have faith in your argument and open their minds to what you have to say. So that's all, sir. Thank you.
Good day everyone, this is Genevieve Soto. So today I will discuss about the importance of confidence in speech delivery. So why confidence is important in speech delivery? So it is about conveying a message to your audience. The focus should therefore be on your audience and not on you as the speaker. On stage, everything is amplified and not just your voice. If you are confident, this is amplified, and if you're lacking in confidence, this is amplified too. Confidence is important because it allows you as the speaker to first take your focus off yourself and focus on the audience. So this is possible by having a healthy mindset towards the audience. Unlike many speakers that wonder most of their speech whether the audience likes them, with confidence, your focus shifts away from whether the audience likes you and moves towards building rapport and relating to your audience from the moment you step on stage. A confident speaker has the mindset that the audience is backing them from the start. As he can eliminate distracting thoughts, allowing you to concentrate on delivering the message. Many speakers have a mind blank on stage because they have so many competing thoughts about their own insecurities and vulnerabilities, which could their mind. Being confident means you can think straight and managing your thoughts as opposed to your thoughts managing you. So third, prepare a message which is full of content designed with the audience in mind instead of content designed to make you look, sound, and or feel good. So these speakers that lack confidence often go off on unrelated tangents, use jargon and unnecessary complex language, and their message can lack relevant personal stories. A confident speaker has a message which is relevant, simple, and honest, often drawing on personal stories to build rapport. The message is what the audience needs or wants to hear about, and not just simply what you want to speak about. Fourth, read the audience body language and adapt your speaking style accordingly. Speakers that lack confidence are usually so consumed and concentrating on their own body language and delivery style that they fail to take account of the non-verbal feedback from their audience. A confident speaker can adapt delivery style and response to how the audience is reacting. Fifth, come across to your audience as cool, calm, and in control even if things are not going according to plan. For speakers that lack confidence, unplanned hurdles can really rattle them, and the audience can easily pick up on this. A confident speaker is able to deal with challenges without displaying them on stage. 6. Have the X factor on stage. There is no doubt about it. Confidence is attractive in a speaker, and the audience in the most cases responds positively to it. So, a speaker lacking in confidence may attempt to mask it by overcompensating, resulting in being perceived as arrogant or at the other extreme. Oftenly displaying such a lack of confidence, the audience is left questioning the speaker's motives for being on stage in the first place. A confident speaker is far more likely to have the X factor. So seventh, to give you credibility as a speaker. Many speakers lacking in confidence and crippled by insecurities may be guilty of excessive name dropping, boasting about level of experience, and or overemphasizing their credentials. A confident speaker knows the exact amount of information required to build credibility, weaving in examples and stories without being overbearing. So that would be all, and thank you everyone.
So, pleasant morning to each and everyone, to my classmates, and also to our instructor, Mr. Napoles. So, my topic for this morning is all about strategies in developing confidence in delivering a speech. So, whether we're talking in a team meeting or presenting in front of an audience, we all have to speak in public from time to time. So we can do this well or we can do this badly. So, and the outcome strongly affects the way that people think about us. So this is the reason why public speaking causes so much anxiety and concern. So regarding with this topic, I will be citing or I will be explaining most common techniques. So first is maintain eye-to-eye contact with the audience or to your listeners. So no need for you to look around or do some nonsense sightseeing. Also, you must have to look at your audiences directly to their eyes. Okay, so or an eye-to-eye contact. So for them to be able to interpret or understand what are you talking about or what is your topic all about. So you have to have an eye-to-eye contact with your listeners or to your audiences, so for them to be able to understand what you are talking about. So that's it. And then use gestures to emphasize points. So use your hands and body gestures to emphasize your points. Something like this, what I'm doing now. While I'm explaining in front of you, I am also doing my hands gestures. I am doing like this. So this is used to clarify points. So since I am the speaker and I want you to understand what I am talking about, so I am also using gestures and also facial expressions. Then next is move around the stage. So why? Because audiences may get bored listening to you. So when you are just staying at one point or one place on the stage, so try to walk slowly. So try to walk slowly while speaking. Try to walk slowly while explaining to them, or just a few steps while talking. So for them to be able to satisfy you what you're talking to. And next is match your facial expressions with what you're saying. So you must have to match your facial expressions based on what you are reporting to. Something like, for example, when you're talking about sad moods or when you are talking about sad moments, so your face will be sad also, and then it may appear in your facial expression. So when you're talking about a jolly story and exciting story, so your face also will be look exciting. Yeah, you look happy, you're laughing, or you may smiling. So that's it. So match facial expression with what you are saying or with what you are reporting to. Then next is reduce nervous habits. So just stay calm and enjoy your fears. Endure your fears and nervousness. Because while we are speaking, because like me before, starting to deliver a speech as a part of my job, because I am also conducting seminars, I am also conducting financial literacy seminars. I can feel also a shaky moment. So on my hand, I feel something like this. I get nervous while speaking in front of the audiences. So while holding the microphone, on my legs while standing in front of them, and from time to time I had to overcome. So I have overcome those fears and those moments. So just improve your self-confidence and motivate also your passion to become a speaker. Then next is slowly and steadily breath. Okay, so don't be like this while speaking. Yeah, so you need to be calm. Breath slowly, and if you're breathing heavily, so just do it away from the microphone. If you want to breathe deeply, then you must have to something like this. You must have to remove or stay away from the microphone. So the purpose of that is your audiences may not directly hear what you are feeling or what you feel right now. Okay, so you must have to breathe heavily away from the microphone. Okay, and then next is the last but not the least is use your voice aptly. So use your voice aptly. So don't lower your voice that your audiences may not hear you clearly. Just talk or speak in a moderate voice. But there are also instances that your audiences are tend to sleep or feeling sleepy. Why? Because they are also people who are not seriously interested on what you are talking. So because we cannot please everybody, we cannot please our audiences very well. So when they really don't like the topic, you just destroy them, or let's say just entertain them by speaking in a loud voice. If you're if you can see that your audiences is like on a sleepy mood, then you must have to entertain them. You must have to change your voice. You must have to change your the way you speak. They can hear you that you tend to speak to them slowly, then you must have to change your voice to the moderate, like something like okay, something like that. So in order for them to get awake, okay, because we cannot please everybody. That's the true life of a speaker. We cannot please everybody to hear us. We cannot please everybody that they are interested in what we are talking to. So you must have to entertain them. You must have to, from time to time, you must have to change your voice in order them to be active while listening to you. Okay, so there are lots of techniques also or strategies in developing confidence in delivering a speech. So I am only touching the basic one. I am touching those topics that we are using from time to time. So those are only the basic one, the basic strategy.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm George Alsado, BIT City 3G. Now, we have to tackle my topic. So, this is my topic, presentation aids. So, first, what is presentation aids? Okay, presentation aids, sometimes called sensory aids, are the resources beyond the speech itself that a speaker uses to enhance the message conveyed to the audience. Okay, if you have a presentation aids, you have to enhance your message to convey the audience. And they are the type of presentations that speaker must typically make as a visual aids. This is pictures, diagrams, charts, graph, and maps. Audible aids include musical excerpts, audio speech excerpts, and sound effect. And a speaker may also use fragrance sample or food samples or other samples that olfactory or gustatory aids uh, uh, that easily to understand to the audience. And the other three-dimensional presentation aids can be: first, objects and animals and people. They can present this three-dimensional, and they can unfold over a period of time, as in the case of a how-to demonstrations. There are functions of presentation aids. First, improving audience understanding. Human communication is a complex process that often leads to misunderstanding. You can easily remember incidents when you misunderstood a message or when someone else misunderstood what you said to them. Next is clarifying. Clarification is important in the speech because if some of the information you convey is unclear, your listener will come away puzzled or possibly even missed. If you are present, you must important you clarify your speech to information to your audience. You need to clear. And next is emphasize. When you use presentation aids for emphasis, you impress your listeners with the importance of an idea. You emphasize your idea for the audience to easily understand. And next is the statistical chart. Statistical presentation must be kept as simple as possible, and they must be explained. If you have to use statistical chart, you have to simple and must be explained to the audience. And next is sequence of steps charts. Charts are also useful when you are trying to explain that involves several steps. Sequence is useful when you are trying to explain to the audience of you have several steps to the presentations do you have. And next is a graph. A graph may be considered a type of chart, but graphs are so widely used that we will discuss separately. Okay, from the word separately. And next is a line graph. A line graph is a design to show trends over time. They use this line graph the trends that you have survey or research your presentation. Next is a bar graph. Bar graph are useful for showing the difference between quantities. Bar graph is that difference between the quantities of your idea and the internet. Next is a pie graph. Pie graph should be simplified as much as possible without eliminating important information. Next is a representation. It's the words used to clarify a group of aids designed to represent real processes or object. Okay. You must use your object to represent to the audience and easily to know or understand the audience what you say. Diagrams. Diagrams are drawing or sketches that outline and explain the parts of an object, process, or phenomenon that cannot be readily seen. Maps are extremely useful if the information is clear and limited. If you use these maps, they are extremely useful to clear your information and limited Photographs and drawings. Sometimes a photograph or a drawing is the best way to show unfamiliar but important details. This is important. One of the important for your presentation is a photographs and a drawing. Video or audio recording. This is another very useful type of presentation aids, whether it's a short video from a website like YouTube, Prezi, or other website that you can research. Objects or models. Another form of presentation aid can be very helpful in getting your audience to understand your message. You have to put like food or things that verify your topic to easily understand to the audience. And that's all my report.